Hey, awesome people of YouTube, welcome back to another Baldur's Gate 3 video. In this one, I'm going to be trying my first build guide on Baldur's Gate 3, and it's going to be Lockadin or Padlock, whatever you want to call it, right? It's going to be Warlock with Paladin and a little bit of Fighter, and I'll explain why. But before we get started, I just want to say thank you everybody who watched it. If you do enjoy this type of video, you can let me know by leaving a like, comment, and especially subscribing and sharing. And if you want to see other stuff on the video on the channel, you can do let me know by leaving a comment or joining a Discord, which is linked down in the description, and telling me the ways I can improve or different type of videos I can do. I'm all ears. I want to improve and I want to bring the best stuff to you guys. Also in there you will see when I go live, which I do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And speaking of that, this Wednesday, aka tomorrow, I will be doing my tactician playthrough start. You will be using Wear the Shadow Monk in order to prepare for honor mode. But with that said, let's get into the video. So we're going to be talking about Lockadin Padlock, right? I'm going to respect just so you guys will see how I do stuff. So for the best races, you can go with high elf and high half elf because they can get an extra cantrip, which you're probably not going to use, but they get a fan session, which is pretty huge. Half orc is also pretty awesome for savage attackery, and if you, instead of going down, it will go to 1 HP. Human is also not bad, but my more favorite is tieflings because they take reduced fire damage. But at level 1, you're going to select Paladin. That's your starting class, right? For oaths, you can go with Oath the Ancients just to start off if you're going to become an Oath Breaker once you get out of the ship. But my more favorite is Oath the Vengeance because you can get Inquisitor's Might just to allow you to do a little bit more damage along with a few other stuff, right? So for your stat distribution, right, you want to focus on strength at first with something like 16 strength, 14 dexterity, 14 constitution. If you want, you can actually, yeah. There we go. 14 constitution, 8 intelligence, wisdom. Intel and wisdom are dumb stats. Charisma is 14, but you can go to 12 if you want to have something like a little bit more balanced, right? Eventually, you will be respecting, so do not utilize anti-ethel hair for strength. If you do get anti-ethel hair, make sure you get the charisma one. Now, because eventually you'll be specking and going full into charisma because of the stuff you pick up in Warlock level 8, right? For your skill proficiency, athletics, just to help you shove enemies and resist from being shoved. For your other skill proficiency, intimidation is also not bad. For your background, a good ones is soldier and outlander, but you can also pick noble, right? That's it for level 1. Excuse me. For level 2, right? Mind you, I'll be talking about gear at the end. For Act 1 and Act 3 stuff, you know, for early game and towards the end. For level 2, you get more health, you get level 1 spell slot, and you get the biggest thing, Divine Smite. Divine Smite is reaction, Divine Smite critical reaction. Make sure you have those on, because Divine Smite is massive. That is primarily your primary damage. It does utilize your spell slot, but once you go into higher levels, instead of needing to take a long rest, you can do short and still be able to do a little bit of damage, right? But for your fighting styles, I prefer great weapon fighting style because when you utilize two-handed weapons, you will not roll a 1 or a 2, you'll re-roll it once. I mean, you can still roll it again, but you have a chance to not get it. If you don't want to use two-handed, if you want to, you can also go with defense just to get +1 to armor class while wearing armor. It's not huge, but it helps. Dueling is also not bad if you're going to use one-handed, you know. If you can also use a shield with it. Sorry, a little bit spaced out for a second. But for your spells, I'll prefer Wrathful Smite, Thunderous Smite, and Searing Smite. They do a lot of damage. Searing does fire damage. Thunders does thunder and can leave him prone and push him away. It's 3 meters, and Wrathful frightens them, which is pretty huge for 2 turns. And it's the psychic damage, right? That's a level 2. Level 3, you get an extra level 1 spell slot. You get a few actions, you know, like a Hunter's Mark, Bane, Wild Amenity, Abjure Enemies. Honestly, out of all of them, Hunter's Mark is the only decent one, right? If you pick with the Asmodeus Tiefling, you get Hellish Rebuke, which is a reaction. Not bad. For your 4th spell slot, it's up to you. If you use Shadowheart, Command might not be good, so you can go with something like Cure Wounds, just to have a little bit of healing, even though it does utilize your spell slot, and you want to save them for Divine Smite. Level 4, you get your feet and Lay on Hands Charge. So for this, I do not recommend the ability score improvement, because you're going to save it for later. I would recommend either Alert for 5 more initiative, allowing you to go closer to being first in a battle, and you cannot be surprised. Which, if you're surprised, you pretty much skip your turn, giving an enemy a free turn. And another good one, probably the more better one for your starting feat, is Great Weapon Mastery. When you crit or kill an enemy with your weapon attack, you can do another weapon attack as a bonus action. And if you turn on the ability as Great Weapon Master, you will have -5 attack roll, but you do 10 more damage. Mind you, the critical weapon melee attack as a bonus action, that's automatic. You don't need to toggle it on. You have it no matter what. Right? For your other level 1 spell slot, just pick whatever you want. It don't matter, as long as you have the 3 other smites. For your level 5, that's where the big thing comes. You get more health, level 1 spell slot extra, level 2 spell slot, so Divine Smite will do even more damage, but the big thing is extra attack. So instead of attacking once, you can do 2 Divine Smite attacks, doing massive damage. If you pick the Asmodeus Tiefling, you get Darkness. For level 2 spell slot, that's up to you. You can go with 8 just to heal your allies and increase their hit points by maximum of 5. It's not bad, right? Level 6, instead of going to Paladin level 6, you are gonna multiclass. You're gonna multiclass into Warlock. The big thing is you want Eldritch Blast. Eldritch Blast might seem like a crappy cantrip, but from level 1 to 4, you only do 1 Eldritch Blast beam. From level 5 to 9, you do 2. From level 10 to max, you do 3 beams, each doing 1d10 force damage, which is pretty huge. For your other cantrip, Blade Ward is not bad. It gives you 2 turns of taking only half the damage from bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing attacks, which is pretty cool, especially since you're up front. For your subclass, you can go with the Fiend, giving you Dark One's Blessing. When you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points, you get 2 temporary hit points, and obviously, the higher your Warlock level, the more temporary hit points you get. You also get free Armor of Agathos and Arms of Hadar, but remember, you can switch those spells, so big thing is Dark One Blessing. But I usually choose the Great Old One, because you get the Mortal Reminder. When you land a critical hit against a creature and nearby allies must succeed at a Wisdom saving throw, or they become frightened till the end of their next turn, which means they cannot move. They can still attack using ranged weapons, spells, or if you're within their melee range, which is 3 meters. But that still prevents them from moving, and that's huge, which is why I usually choose that. For your spells, I would choose Hex, because it'll make the enemy do 1d6 necrotic damage, and it gives them this ability on their, or disadvantage on their ability of your choosing, be it Charisma, Wisdom, Strength, Dexterity, whatever, right? And if you get rid of that target, if you kill the target before the spell expires, you can recast the spell for free on a new creature. Pretty cool, right? Now, at level 7, you're gonna get more health, level 2 spell slot, gain more passives. That's a big thing. For spells, that's up to you. Arms of Hadar is not bad. For Eldritch Invocation, which is your passive, Agonizing Blast is massive, because when you utilize Eldritch Blast, in case you're not close enough to the enemy, you will add your Charisma modifier to the damage it deals. For now, it's not huge, but the next level, after the next level, will be Respecting, so it will become huge. We'll take that. And Repelling Blast. The reason why you take it is when you hit the creature with the Eldritch Blast, you can push the creature up to 4.5 meters away from you, which it can push him off the cliffs, making him take a lot of damage. Obviously, pushing them away also makes them have to close the distance. You know, sometimes it can prevent you from getting hit, and you can also push them off the into abyss. You know, pretty cool. So those two definitely recommended. At level 8 is another big level. So level 5, level 8, and level 10 and 12 are pretty big. Right? At level 3 Warlock, you get your level 2 spell slot. So you can take Cloud of Daggers, not bad, but you can also take Whole Person. If you already know it, you don't need to. Another good one is Misty Steps, but if you have certain boots, they're not good. So Cloud of Daggers is not bad. But here is the big thing, is your pacts. There's Pact of the Chain, Blade, and Tome. You're gonna pick Pact of the Blade, which means you can summon a pact weapon or bind the weapon you're wielding, making it magical. Pact weapons use wielder's spellcasting modifier instead of strength or dexterity, so you'll be using charisma. So once you pick it, if you want to play spells, you do. So once you get that, you immediately go to Withers, right? And you respec. Right? It will cost you 100 gold every time, so it's pretty easy. Right? You're gonna pick everything I already stated before, but for your ability points, instead of strength, you're gonna be focusing on charisma, which is why Auntie Ethelhair is great for this, because you will have 17 charisma, right? 17 normal, with the Auntie Ethel will be 18, and with the ASI, you'll have 20, you know? Pretty huge, and you have other stuff that can get you higher. But you definitely want to have this. Strength is not needed, you know? Dexterity is not bad, just so you have more armor class, but if you're not going to use that, it also gives you initiative, which is huge. Constitution, just to be extra tanky. Intelligence is not needed. Wisdom is not necessary, but charisma is high, because it helps you be in a party phase, but that's where your damage will come from. Right? Skill proficiency the same, everything will stay the same, and you're gonna pick up what I stated before. I will quickly go over it as we try to get to level 9. Right? Great weapon fighting. For this stuff, you pick boom. Info spells. Excuse me. Boom. The big thing, remember, is to pick the Wrathful Smite, Searing Smite, and Thunderous Smite. Other level 1 spell slot don't matter. For your ASI, for the feat, remember, pick Great Weapon Mastery first. Yeah. But ASI or Ability Score Improvement also helps, just to get yourself to 19 or 20 Charisma faster. Right. Level 5, Paladin, you get an extra attack. Remember, if you're doing this, stop at level 6 and move to class back into the Warlock. Right? Make sure you pick Eldritch Blast, and if you want Blade Award, pick in either the Fiend or the Great Old One. And don't forget to get Hex as your spell. Now, boom. For this one, it don't matter. Remember, pick for Eldritch Revocation, Agonizing Blast, and Repelling Blast. Excuse me. Level 3, it's up to you what you pick. Cloud of Daggers is not bad. Whole Person if you don't have it. And on your packs, Pact of the Blade. Right? That's huge. Now, once you get your Pact of the Blade and you respect and get your Pact of the Blade at level 8, make sure after every long rest, I don't know if they changed, I'm pretty sure they did, it might take a bit, do bind Pact Weapon. You know, it says permanent, but I still do it after every long rest. Boom. Right? So now my weapon takes my damage from charisma instead of strength. Now at level 9, you stick with a Warlock. You pick whatever cantrip you need. Minor Illusion is not bad. Mage Hand is also not bad. You can do Poison Spray if you want. For your spells, again, that's up to you. Invisibility is not good. If you want, you can pick Darkness. But Whole Person is pretty good, and Misty Steps, you know. Mirror Illusion is also pretty huge because you get 3 illusory duplicates. Each one give you extra 3 to armor class. Right? And for your feat, definitely pick, ability score improvement. Getting yourself to 19 charisma, and with anti-athel hair, it will be 20. Pretty massive. Now at level 10, remember I told you level 5, 8, and 10 are big levels, because at level 10, if you pick Pack the Blade, you'll get Deepened Pact. Which means blade patch holders, or pact holders, sorry, gain an extra attack with their weapon. As long as you have your weapon binded, you have, instead of 2 attacks, you'll have 3 attacks. And if you utilize the haste one, I believe you have 6 attacks, or bloodlust, you have the same, which is huge amount of turns, right? For your spell, Hunger of Hadar is pretty good, you know. Creatures within this black sphere are blinded and take damage at the end of the turn, and at the start of that. They also take 2 to 12 cold damage and 2 to 12 acid damage. The cold damage is at the start and acid at the end. That's a pretty good one, but another good one is also Grand Fly. No, yeah, that's up to you to go. Gaseous Form is also not bad. But we'll pick with Hunger of Hadar. Now for your Eldritch Evocation, for this one, it's up to you. It is all whatever you want, you know. Personally, if you don't have anybody that can speak with the animals for free, pick Beast Speech, because it will allow you to speak with animals without expending a spell slot, because they have some cool stuff. By the time you'll be in Act 3. At level 11, personally, you can go with Warlock just to get Entropic Ward, or Paladin for aura, but I like to multi-class again into a fighter. Right, and this one you can pick a second weapon fighting style. You can go with archery, and if you want with dueling, you can go with protection, right? But honestly, I don't like it, because I will pick defense, because getting +1 to armor class might not seem huge, but this time if you have really good armor, just getting that a little extra might be what you need, right? And at level 12, you stick with a fighter level 2, which will grant you, I forget the name of the thing, but it will allow you to use, just regain your action moves again, and it will, you can get that back every short term. So that's pretty much it for the leveling. Now let's talk about the gear, right? I'm not gonna tell you where you can get the gear, but I'm gonna tell you which acts they are in. So for starting ones, for your helmet, go and get yourself a Helmet of Smiting. Huge at the start, which means when you apply a condition of one of your smite spells, you gain temporary hit points equal to your charisma modifier, and it gives you +1 to constitution saving throws. For your cape, you don't have it at this time. For your chest, adamantine splint armor, which I still use, and you can see I'm high level, is massive because it gives you magical plate. All incoming damage is reduced by 2. Huge. It also gives you 18 armor class. Pretty big, especially in Act 1. You also get intense adamantine backlash, which whenever a melee attack hits you, the attacker is sent reeling for 3 turns. And attackers cannot land a critical hit on you, but you get no extra armor class from the dexterity. Right? For your boots, you definitely want disintegrating Nightwalkers, because you cannot be enwebbed, entangled, or ensnared, and you cannot slip on grease or ice. Massive, especially if you have like a sorcerer, a warlock, or somebody that can cast entangle, ensnare, web, or you throw grease, or use ice spells and put ice. Huge. Make enemies slip, or be entangled, ensnared, or enwebbed, and you don't. You also get Misty Steps for free every short rest. Pretty huge. For your pendant, you can go with almost anything. A decent one is Moonjab pendant, but again, that's not bad, because when you're below 50% HP, you get no opportunity attacks. For your rings, Caustic Band is huge, because it gives you +2 to acid damage. At first, it might not seem huge because you attack once, but once you get to like level 10, or level, yeah, like level 5, you have 4 acid damage because you're hitting twice. At level 10, since you're hitting 3 times, you have 6. And at level 12, when you're hitting what? 6 times, or not 6 times, sorry. Yeah, 6 times or even more, you have that much more damage, allowing you to get rid of the enemy much faster. Right? For your weapons, Everblade or Everburn Blade is huge. You can get it at the tutorial at the ship by killing Commander Zalk. That's the only one I tell you. Another good one is Sword of Justice, because you can also cast the Spell of Tear. For your two-handed or your ranged weapon, honestly, the best one would be starting out is the Titan String Bow, because you will do damage based on your strength. Right? So for your Helmet of Smiting, you can get it in Act 1. Same with the Adamantine spell. The only actually no, all of the stuff you can get it. Some of the stuff is located in Underdark. Some of the stuff you will have to look around a little, but they're all in Act 1. You know, you don't have to go towards Moon Tower at all. Now, for your advanced or endgame gear, I don't have all of them, but the best one will be Helm of the Baldurian for self-healing and some stuff. For cape, you can go with Flesh Melter so you can return damage. Another not bad one is, I can select it, is oh, that's the Flesh Eater, no? I forgot I don't have the other one. That's my bad. The Flesh Eater, you know, whenever a creature deals damage to you, you deal damage back to that attacker by doing 1 to 4 acid damage. A helmet, if you don't have Helm Baldur, is Diadem of Arcane Surge. Pretty big. Because when you inflict the condition, you get Arcane Synergy. You know, weapons attack deal additional damage equal to spellcasting ability modifier, or entity's spellcasting ability modifier. Pretty big. For armor, Helldusk armor is huge. You can also cheese and get the Helldusk armor as early as Act 1, anywhere in Act 1. I do have a short on how you can get it by cheesing. I will link it down in the description. Right? For boots, Helldusk boots are also pretty good. But I utilize, you seen the Nightwalkers. For gloves, that's a little bit up to you. But another good gloves, also you can get them in Act 1, I forgot to mention them, is Gloves of Growling Underdog, because whenever wearer gains advantage on the melee attack rolls while surrounded by 2 or more foes, and you get saving throws for your strength +1. Right? Super early you can get it, and they're still good until the end, because you're up front, you're going to be utilizing it. For your Amulet of Great Health is pretty massive. For rings, you can use Ring of Regeneration. If you don't want to get it, still the Ring of Caustic Band, still pretty good. You know, giving you 2 extra damage is pretty good, especially with how many times you attack. And a second ring that you definitely want to have is Killer Sweep, which gives you Executioner. When you kill a creature, your next attack roll will be a critical hit. Once spent, this effect refreshes after long rest. You know? So you can, if you're fighting a boss and it has few underlings, you can eliminate an underling, pretty much giving you a free crit on the boss, possibly allowing you to do massive damage. For your weapon, if you're using two-handed, Baldurian Giant Slayer is huge. But if you just got into Act 3, a huge, amazing one is Narulna. Right? And you can get it really early in the circus before you fully enter the Baldur's Gate. I have a short on it, I believe, tomorrow. Right? So you can see it. For your ranged weapon, you can use Darkfire Shortbow because it gives you resistance to fire and cold. Fire might not be necessary, especially if you are Tiefling. It also gives you a haste, right? Pretty huge. But if you only use that and you want to be able to crit a bit easier, you can utilize the dead shot, which gives you improved critical. The number you need to roll a critical hit while attacking is reduced by 1, and you can stack it. So instead of needing to roll a 20, you need to roll a 19. Right? Pretty good. You can get all of that in... somebody can get an Act 2, somebody an Act 3. I will tell you that the Killer Sword Ring is in Act 2. A Darkfire Shard Bow is also in Act 2. You might not be able to get some of the stuff depending on the choices you made. Right? But most of that stuff are in Act 3. The potions that you want to use, Elixir Bloodlust, is pretty good because once per turn, when you kill a foe, you gain 5 temporary HP and you get an additional action. If you don't want to use that, Potion of Speed is pretty massive because Potion of Speed gets you an extra action, plus 2 to armor class, advantage dexterity saving throws, and doubles your movement. Pretty massive, right? When you start the game, you can definitely buy Elixir of the Hill Giant Strength from Auntie Ethel before you do her quest. So do not go south of the Blighted Village. She'll be in the Druid's Grove. You can buy that, which will give you 21 strength. Huge, right? Besides that, you can use Draw Poison, you know, just to make enemies poison, allowing you to get rid of them faster because they take damage. You can also utilize Oil of Accuracy, which gives you +2 to attack rolls, allowing you to somewhat negate that -5 to attack rolls that you get from great weapon fighting. Right? But besides that, that is it for the build. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Do let me know how I can improve. Do let me know if you use this build or how you would change it. Right? Because I want to hear other people's variations. But with that said, don't forget to stay awesome. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.